The bee biome in 99 Nights is finally out, and I'm going to show you everything that's new. So first off, there are these beehives, which basically, as you plant flowers around them, they will create honey, which is first 1, then you can upgrade it to 3, and then 8. And you need to plant around 40-ish flowers around the beehive to make it fully upgraded. Then we have the pollination event, which basically resets all your honey and then will have these glowing beams, which the bees will fly around in circles. And it will grow a lot of things, such as beehives, brightwood trees, flowers, strawberry plants, and chili plants, which is very good because that could get you a lot of wood. And when I say that it gets you a lot of wood, I mean it gets you a lot of wood. I mean, just look at all these saplings and all this wood. Now, enough of the events. Now let's test what you can actually get during the event. So first off, what you have that we'll be testing is something that is actually a healing item, which is a jar of honey, and if you get really low, you can just use it, and it almost heals your whole entire health bar, which could be really good if you get yourself into a bit of a pickle. And that's not the only healing item, because you also have some candied meat, which you can get by using this recipe in the crock pot right here. Now, there is another thing that heals you, which is basically just a honeycomb, which you'll see here in a second. And it heals you about just as much. Another thing I like about the candied meat is if you get yourself into a pickle, you can just eat like 10 of them to regain all of your health that you just lost, which can get you out of some really tough situations. Now we have the honey bee-nade, which will basically heal you if you splash it on yourself, and if you splash it on an enemy, it will immobilize them entirely, making them unable to attack or move. Now what you see here is something that you actually get from the beekeeper. And what these do is if you plant flowers around them, they will make you honeycomb, which can be really useful because of the reasons I said earlier with making the candied meat to get you out of tough situations. Just in case you were wondering what the shop looked like, this is what it looks like. Now we are going to test the bee stinger spear, and basically the normal spear kills a wolf in 3 hits just like that, but the bee stinger spear kills a wolf in 3 but also does just a bit more damage. Now it's time for the ranking. I put candied meat at first because it's really easy to get, because all you gotta do is put honeycomb, a piece of meat, any meat, doesn't have to be morsel, and then any other food item into the crock pot. And if you stack up like 10 of these in your inventory, you can basically heal yourself to full and get out of any situation super easily. And now, in second, we have the honey bee-nade, which is really good because it could get yourself out of figurative sticky situations and put your enemies in literal sticky situations. And it's really good because you can save the kids really easily with this, because they are unable to attack or move. So being able to get kids classless will be really easy because of the fact that you could just use one of these on the bears, alpha wolves, or regular wolves, and then what will happen is they will be unable to attack, and then you can just come in with a spear and just defeat all of them. And in case you don't have enough time, you get 3 in 1, so you can just roll 3, and that basically guarantees your victory for the first 3 kids. You might need like 3 batches for the 4th kid. Anyway, at third, we have the honey jar, because that heals almost all of your health, which is really good. but the only thing bringing both of those down actually is that they're kind of difficult to get. In fourth, we have the honeycomb because it's not as good as the candied meat because you can just stack that in your inventory. Although honeycomb, you actually have to carry it in your sack, drop it out of your sack, and then eat it. So it's much harder to actually get yourself out of sticky situations with. So that's why it's at number 4, and candied meat is at number 1. And then at number 5, we have the bee stinger spear because it is so expensive and it is so much harder to get than a regular spear for the smallest damage boost. I bet if I tried to speedrun getting this, or getting a poison spear, or even poison claws, I could get poison claws faster than the bee stinger spear, which is so much better anyway. Have a good day, everybody.